trust me.
You have never seen anything like this.
Let's go.
X-Men, rated PG-13.
Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. A franchise that has had its ups and downs over the years would be the X-Men series. The first film helped start the ongoing comic book movie boom, and the second one continued it. The third one had way too many storylines and characters for a single film, but was a passable, if not spectacular, thrill ride. X-Men Origins Wolverine was when the series took a really sharp nosedive, and while X-Men First Class and the Wolverine were notable improvements, neither quite reached the heights of the first two films. Thankfully, this film, Days of Future Past, does. The film opens in the near future, where the world's mutants are being hunted to extinction by indestructible machines called Sentinels. To stop this genocide before it even begins, the survivors must send Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, back in time to the early 1970s. There, he must team up with the young Professor Xavier, played by James McAvoy, and Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender, to stop Mystique, played by Jennifer Lawrence, from assassinating Dr. Trask, played by Peter Dinklage. Trask is the man who will one day create the Sentinels, but his death at the hands of a mutant will only generate more fear, and thus create a greater need for such machines. But it seems that changing the course of world events is far more difficult than just stopping that one single event. It's that last point that relates to what I like about this film, its theme of self-determination. I know we've heard the moral of the future is whatever you make it many times, but this film puts a fresh spin on it by tying it in with its setting. The Vietnam War was a time of great uncertainty for America and the world. It raised many issues and questions that we are still grappling with today. The most obvious of these is our place in world affairs, whether our involvement was and is for the better or for the worse, the answer to which depends very much on whom you ask. This movie takes that feeling to a more personal level through the main characters. Wolverine's time traveling will no doubt have great repercussions for the entire world, and the manner in which he executes that change is as vital as it is complicated. Mystique's pursuit of Trask is no doubt justified, as he subjects mutants to brutal experiments, but as I said before, killing him will only make things worse. On the other side of the coin, Trask sees his assault on the world's mutants as a method of uniting humanity, not through nationality or ideology, but as a species. A grand vision, yes, but that does not make his crimes any less monstrous. In fact, it arguably makes them more monstrous. It's that even-handedness that really cements the idea that the world can be much brighter than we make it, but it is still a complicated place. The acting in this film is fantastic, which is far from surprising given the cast. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as the elderly Xavier and Magneto come off as two old souls with a long history of both friendship and rivalry behind them. McAvoy and Fassbender fit perfectly with that. You really do feel that those two are building the history that will define their future selves. Lawrence really steps up her game as Mystique in this version, and not just because she is given a far more active role in this film than in First Class. She is relentless in her pursuit of Trask, but you see the pain she is going through because of the mutant slaughter, and you also see her relationship with both Xavier and Magneto, one trying to stop her ruthlessness and the other trying to foment it. It's a really good conflict. Before I conclude, I should probably mention the ending. I won't spoil anything, but I will say it is probably the game changer to end all game changers. Overall, I give X-Men Days of Future Past a high big screen rating. Fans of the series will be glad to see its return to form on the big screen, though you might want to revisit the older films for a bit of a refresher. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.